Hey, real quick, this is my first match recording of Battle Spirit Saga, which means no doubt I've made a lot of mistakes, either illegal moves or just things that I should have done instead, just sequencing errors. So if you guys notice anything that is off or anything I've gotten wrong, please let me know in the comments. I want to learn this game, pick it up, and make content for it. So any mistakes I want to correct, and I will have a pinned comment as well that will highlight any mistakes made in the video or not. But I've been really enjoying playing this game, and I want to make more content for it as well. So I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, so here is our match. We have myself on the right with Call of the Curse versus Brian on the left with Dragon Onslaught. I did not like my opening hand, so I get to draw a new 4, which honestly are pretty terrible too. Bottom deck, I get to shuffle, and then after that, I get to draw 1 at the start of my turn as well. So we are going to be doing that, and since Brian did not mulligan, he did get an extra draw there. So after that, we are drawing for turn there. We do get our Pentacles, which is actually kind of nice later in the game, but we kind of need a little bit more spirits to kind of get there. So we're going to play the Stray Soul. It's kind of not our best first spirit to play because it does have a kind of good on play effect or one summon effect, and so we're just going to pass. They're going to play the Quicksand Dragon there and be able to put a 2 on it too, which is a little obnoxious too, and just pass it back to us here. So going back up, we have 1 more core to deal with. We're going to also just play our Dark Grail. I'm not really a big fan of this Nexus. If you guys think it's better, let me know. I also put a Bloody Rain in our burst, which could be better like for late game to kind of floodgate them. And we're just going to probably decide to, we remove 1 core there. Not that it's going to be a big deal with the Dark Grail. I'm finally going to just put 3 on there. It's just going to be a 2k swing, and so the Quicksand Dragon is also 2k, so if they want to trade, they can, which is not too bad of a trade for us since we have a Nexus up, so we'll have more of our cost reduction later. And but they decided to take it and get 1 life down, and we'll pass the turn back there. So drawing for turn, they have way more cards in hand and way more. So they're going to put a landmine into their burst, which is a really strong burst card there for red now. And Quicksand Dragon, another one comes out, so that will be cost reduced there. Just having to pay 3 cores, putting 3 cores on it and 2 on the old one. And since we are kind of exhausted out, so we are, all our stuff is tapped, they're going to swing with the 2k swing and have the 5k Quicksand Dragon up for, a potential block next turn too. So we take the damage, we're at 4 life, and it passes back to us. So we finally get kind of a good spirit there for at least playing. So we will be able to play the Dark Knight Florence. That will be for 2 with the cost reduction, putting 1 on him, and so we're going to put 2 more there, and on we're going to put it on our Stray Soul as well. So it is going to be a 3k swing with Curse, which means that if they do block with their 5k Quicksand Dragon, they'll have to destroy it, so they're just going to take another life and then go back down to 3. So we'll pass there. And there are also flashes and block steps that would be happening here. I'm just kind of breezing through them for this match, but that does happen. We're just passing back and forth of no interaction. So they're going to play the Blade Dino Parasaur there, which is a really obnoxious card when played right, and it's going to be kind of stinky for me. So it has this Confront ability too, so they are going to swing, making me having to block with something, which means I have to block with my Stray Soul. I was trying to do some math if it was worth it to give a plus 2k boost on flash, but it would not be, so I decided to just let it die there. You're going to swing with the Quicksand Dragon, the one with the 5k damage there, and we will have to take that life to go down to 3, and I think that will pass it back to us. So a lot of back and forth in this game, but again, I think I always felt this entire match that I was playing from behind, just not getting like a good opening hand, and having the mulligan as well just kind of made it stinky. So right now we have like we need like 1 more core to do what we want. We can't play Pentacles and get it to level 2 and let it swing as well, so we're gonna just play another Dark Knight Florence to just get it out there and get the core there, and then we're going to play Pentacles as well. It will get rid of all but 1 core, but it doesn't really do anything. So if we wanted to, I could have swung with one of the Dark Knight Florences here too, and they'd have to have traded with one of the with the Florence with the Quicksand Dragon, but I decided not to, just to leave some blockers up potentially for next turn, because we are getting a little bit close to life and they are establishing a bit more of a board, and we're just going to pass it from there. So unfortunately not a great play with Pentacles as I'd like to do. Obviously you'd want to play it and attack to be able to just wipe out something completely, but wasn't able to for the amount of cores and just reduction we had. So they're going to play Scorched Battlefield, which is a really good Nexus, a little bit better early game when you can get some potential draw later, but still giving everything a plus 1k boost is pretty nice for the board here, especially when you're going wider. And they still have quite a few cores left to do another play. So it looks like they're planning on playing the Rain Needle here. So very cheap. It's just for one essentially. So just a quick attacker, especially like in a deck that draws so many. Like being able to play a Spirit for essentially just one to potentially poke some damage is quite good. And then they're going to put all the cores onto the Parasaur, and they're also going to be able to use the effect for it too. So they're going to swing, they're going to use the when the Spearing attacks by paying the Soul Core, so they get to draw a card. It's still a 5k because they have 3 cores on it, and I have to block. So we will block with one of the Dark Knight Florences we have, and just kind of go from there. And so we could have blocked, no, we didn't have enough for the plus 2k either. So and then they're thinking about attacking. They can attack for game based on what we have on the board and what they have on the board, but so they're just going to pass and just be good with establishing a little wider of a board there. So back to us, we do have a Stray Soul, which is unfortunately this is not getting as much value as I like to do with it. They always Brian's doing a really good job at only attacking with stuff that has multiple cores and exhausting them, which means this Stray Soul doesn't really get an effect from it. But we will potentially, I think we're going to swing with the Pentacles just to get rid of something and do some damage there. I also just put some extra cores on some of my Florence as well, I believe. Yeah, let's see, Pentacles getting one. No, yeah, that's right. I've decided to put 3 on my Dark Grail because I think there's a somewhat good chance that they have with the landmine in their burst, and so if anything gets destroyed during my attack step, which would include with the landmine, I get to draw a card, which would be important here, and everything else. Like I can't bump both of them above 3k DP, or BP, sorry. So I attack, use the Pentacles effect to get rid of the Quicksand Dragon. They take the damage, and I think they took the damage in the idea that, you know what, I have one more core to do my plays next turn to get 3 damage in, and I'm okay with that. So starting off with the Dragon Trooper right there. So really obnoxious little guy. He gets to really high BP counts, which is strong. And then also the Moonbow Dragoon, which can be pretty tricky for me with the Awaken skill. You can move cores around in something that has 0 cores, you just move your cores around. And then also the Blazing Boar, which he will add a card, Spirit, to his hand. He just forgot during the play, but that is pretty strong for some recursion there. If you need another Spirit, is good. It's a little costly because you only get 1 reduction, but that's good. So anyways, with the Parasaur, they are going to be swinging with it. They do have Confront, but they don't have the level 2 for it. So okay, well they didn't have the level 2 for it, but whatever. Let's just pretend that's the card they drew off the board. So anyways, blocking with the Stray Soul, and another little mistake here. So I thought it was only at 2k. It would have been at 3k with the Scorched Battlefield. So that was my mistake with the block there. I could have used my Dark Knight Florence instead. It was a 2k to make it a 4k, but technically they were both 3ks and it should have traded. But that was on me there. So it could have been played around. He said it was a 2k swing, so that was on me. But swing with Quicksand Dragon, which is another 2k swing there. No blocks, no flashes. I take the damage, go down to 2 life. And then I believe they will be swinging with one of their other cards. So yeah, it's swinging with the Dragon Trooper there too. So this is a big beefy 4k BP right now. No flashes or blocks for this attack, but I will burst the Bloody Rain. So your opponent cannot attack with spirits during the turn unless they remove a core and place it in the reserve. I can then do the flash effect, which I don't want to, but this just means that I can. They can't attack anymore. They cannot attack for the rest of this turn because the rest of their guys only have 1 core of it, and the Awakening skill is only on a flash, so they would have to have preemptively done it, which they could have done. They could have preemptively done the flash with the Moonbow Dragon off the Quicksand Dragon that is already exhausted, but they did not, so they would not get a chance to attack with it. So I'm at 1 life, but I have quite a few cores, and I do have a lot of removal and potential amount of swings to get there. So we're just going to move them around. And we do definitely want 3 on the Pentacles. We also want to make sure that If there's a way for us to get plus 3k DP on both of our guys, we definitely want to do that. But this is just a little bit of hard math. I think there was definitely a way for me to get both my guys above 3k, to get the Stray Soul up to 4k, and then use the Poison Shot in hand to boost it. But we have the Pentacles, we're using the level 2 effect to remove the Moonbow Dragon, which would proc the One Destroy from Landmine. We decided not to do that. We're also using Poison Shot to remove a core from the Boar as well. So it's only down to 1 blocker, and they got 2 life, so it's looking kind of good for us. And it looks like no flashes, and they will decide to block, I believe, with their one that is open. So they will do that in just a second. Thinking about it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, looking numbers. Good, perfect. All right, gets the block. And then that will trigger the landmine there. So again, we could have played around this, where we could have used the Poison Shot in hand to boost the BP of both of our guys. For like a Florence, we could have left it at a level 1, but boost it by 2 with that to make it a 4k, and the Stray Soul is also a 4k. But we've got 1 attack, they've got 2 life, and we know that they have 3 attacks next turn, so we were totally out of luck there. So I'm concede this match, and that is the game. So not a really like high caliber game, but I think just a good starter for people who are trying to figure out how this game works. Again, if there's any mistakes that you guys saw, either clerical or just like bad ideas that we tried to do, let us know, and we would appreciate that, and leave it in the comments. And again, we've been having a lot of fun playing this game. We'll try to do a game of the star decks of 3 and 4, and that'll be it. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.